Weird, I say good morning to everybody. A lot of people watch in the evening and afternoon. That's how it goes. This is my time on the plantation. I can actually do my little bit. Trying to save our pitiful little existence. Work in Facebook comment. Found a new creature. Found a new earthling off the coast of Chile. Here, flip that, smack that, hit that, rub that down. Oh no! Good morning, everybody. Tina first in the house. Good morning. Tina, come on, Tina, come on. Patricia in the house. Found a new earthling. Don't get used to him though. Don't get used to him. We found a new killer whale. Don't get used to him. I'm telling you, don't fall in love with the new killer whale. They found it off the coast of Chile. Don't get used to it. Americans are still buying chili in plastic wrap. So don't get used to it. Y'all say hi to the whale, and wave bye to the bye. The kids, don't get the kids used to it. Hey, mommy, we found a new killer whale. Don't get used to it. The ocean's still full of plastic. Yeah, we got the plastic-eating bacteria. Now it's a mushroom that eats plastic, but I don't know if they're gonna be in time to save this killer whale. Mommy, why are we killing the killer whales? Well, darling, we're stupid. We hadn't figured nothing out yet. We don't mind destroying the planet we live on. I think I'm gonna call this video in honor. Was it Elliot Abrams or the other guy who called Maduro a dictator? Don't be a dictator. It's bad, y'all. Don't be a dictator. Don't be a dictator pointing at dictators. Don't dictate. You know what? Because a lot of... All right, so here's the truth. Truth is, we're not going to do the vaccine thing much longer. So they're about to shut that down. I think... I guess, not watching, but everyone's worried about the mandatory vaccines. And I just said, hey, don't worry about it, people. Don't worry about it. It's coming. You can't stop it. You can't stop. Oligarchs got money to make. America, the politicians been plotting mandatory vaccines for a long time because Big Pharma makes big money on it. Big money. You have an oligarchy, not a democracy. You can't stop it, yes. So as they dictate mandatory vaccines to you, Maduro a dictator. That's just how it works. Hypocrisy is delicious and nutritious. Just take it in. I'm telling you, the scientists who probably found the new killer whale, they were probably eating chili when they found it. They were probably eating chili out the plastic wrap, with the plastic spoon right on the boat. What the hell is that? Bob, I don't know. What do you see that? That don't look like the standard killer whale. You know, throw the plastic away. Meanwhile, it could be hemp, but we're not that smart. All right. Oh, I know, Tina. Don't be such a ding-a-ling. Speaking of ding-a-lings, hold on. Well, all right, let's do the killer. We'll talk about dictators later in a minute. Let's do the killer whale. I like it. We found a new earthling, y'all. Is anybody happy about that? I don't see. I guess y'all can't hit the happy button, or I don't see when you hit the happy button no more. Like, we found a new earthling. Yes, we are gonna kill it. Yes, it's gonna choke on our plastic. I know, but we found it. Now the aliens can come down like in Star Trek. They came down and they saved the whales and left us here. That's probably what's gonna happen again. All right, let me see. Where's this whale at? Where is this whale at? Don't be a dictator. Look at this. Found the whale is pretty. Earthlings. Go Earth Team. Team Earth. Team Earth. Team Earth. New killer whale. Off the coast of Chile. Earthlings.
Coming up.
They about to shoot him? Hell, wait a minute. Right video? Did they just shoot the new killer whale? Yeah, they did. They done harpoon. This is what I'm saying. We ain't gonna make it. They just shot him. Did y'all seriously? Did y'all see that?
These are definitely small, and they're, you know, eaters tend to be small, and they're chasing after big things. And
What the hell is wrong
the
with
dorsal
us?
fin is narrow and very pointy, very different from other killer whales. And the head is
very different.
quite round, and when they roll up on the water, they look like pilots.
Did they just shoot him? What the hell is wrong with? All right, y'all, we about to die right now. Look at this. Oh my God! Even the brightest and the brave among us, those designed to protect the animals, are shooting them.
Coming up.
This is what I'm saying. Oh, we're so done. All right, I'm sorry. I'm done. Are you serious? I didn't even watch the video. Are you? All right, hold on. Let me turn this music on. Are you kidding? They literally just shot the whale. I was happy. I was cheering for the scientists. We done found a new earthling. But this is probably par for the course. This is what we do. We find a new species. Damn it. It's what we do. We're gonna shoot it. Hey, they must be American scientists, because that's like our number one export to the world is violence. So no, that doesn't mean surprise. They found a new whale and they shot him. You know what? They're scientists, but you know, this whole science thing, I don't know. I think there's, to me, I guess I look at it like the pharmaceutical industry. It's science and it's pseudoscientists. And the pseudo slips in anytime they're making money. Anytime you pay a scientist over $100,000 a year, kind of, I don't know. I'm not okay with that though, Tina. I see what you're saying. They're scientists. I'm not okay. I don't trust. I don't care what your name is, your label is. I don't trust doctors. I don't trust scientists. I don't trust neuroscientists. I don't trust none of them. I look at what everybody says, and if what they says makes sense, what they're doing makes sense, okay. The hell they shoot the whale for, Tina? Why are you defending them? They don't have to shoot the whale. They just found the whale. That might be the last pod left, about to get choked out by the plastic and the chemicals and the oil in the ocean. They didn't have to shoot it. All right. I'm not like a PETA type guy. Like, I'm not, you know, I know y'all eat meat. I don't eat meat, but all right, that ruined it. That ruined it. It ruined it for me. Ruined it. I'm turning it off. Turning it off. I'm done. It just ruined it. It totally ruined it. I was so happy we found the whale. We was gonna wave hi to the whale and then wave bye to the whale, because it's gonna go extinct. It's gonna die. If you have a population so small that we just discovered you on Earth as we're destroying Earth, then there's no chance you're gonna make it. And that's the first thing they could think to do is shoot it? Come on. It's just a harpoon. It's just a shot. You know what? Speaking of shots, hold on. I got a shot for you. It's just a shot. How come y'all gotta shoot every damn thing? Let me ask you. Why y'all? Let me show you this. What I find. How come y'all gotta shoot every damn thing? Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about mandatory vaccines too. How come y'all gotta shoot everything? To see something, you gotta shoot. Stick a booster in it. Well, outside of the new whale, outside of sticking a new whale, we're mandatory sticking adults. I told y'all I was coming. I told you it was coming. I told you it was coming. I'm sorry if you just started watching my videos, but I told you it was coming. They said, we gonna get Trump in and he's gonna study the vaccines. And no, that's not how this works, baby. It's an oligarchy. It doesn't matter who's in office. Your mandatory vaccines are coming. There's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. So Mark Zuckerberg said that they're going to start shutting down on the platform on alternative science on vaccines, and the other platform said it too. Media said it too, because they're afraid people aren't getting enough vaccines. There's too much questioning of the vaccines. So they're going to start shutting it off. So, you know, the voices you're going to hear are going to be very specific. There'll be very specific things they can say, or they get shut off. That's the world we want to live in. It's the world we vote for. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I am. Sounds bad? Because that's what we vote for. That's what we stand up for. It's what we're doing. And it's no worse than what we do. Like, I mean, I would be a hypocrite if I was fighting for Americans and me not to get by a damn booster shot as I age. as my immune system slowly stopped working as good as it did when I was young, bringing me well into that percentage of all the drugs that always have the side effects that nobody. That's why, you know, but we got to change how we talk. Got to change how we talk. But it's like anything else. You get people who are on this extreme side and people on that extreme side. The reality is simply this. All chemicals, everything that goes in your body that should not be in your body is going to cause a side effect. That's just, you either know it or you don't. All chemicals, all things that violate your body will always cause a side effect. That's why I'm not anti-vax. People like to say, oh, anti-vax is this, that. I'm not. I'm anti-abusing my body. That's it. Anything that creates an inflammation in my body, I do my best to not eat. That means half the time most of the time I'm anti-donut. 80% of the time I'm anti-Twinkie. Most of the time I'm anti-apple pie. I love me some apple pie. I do. So it's not about hating vaccines and hating Tylenol and hating Advil and hating all these drugs that they give y'all, the chemotherapy. It's not about hating. Shoot, you might love them. But the question is, do you want to abuse your body? Do you want to offend your immune system and get an inflammation response? That's why I don't eat meat. People are like, you don't hate meat. I don't hate meat. Damn it, I love bacon. I used to love me some, what's that stuff? You take the baby lamb and you kill it before it even gets a chance to grow up and stick it on a bun. Gyros. I love me some gyros. But I don't eat them. I don't eat them because it offends my immune system. It offends my body. It's a violation. I'm very honest with my body. Like, I'm very honest. I love lamb. I love bacon. I have not eaten them in damn near 10 years now because they offend my body. The minute that meat hits my tongue, there's an inflammatory response. I trust the scientist on that. You can repeat the science. You can get human tissue, put it in a petri dish, get some meat, put it on there. Now you can debate, and it's going to have an inflammation response. You can debate about if it's because we raise sick animals, if the pharmaceuticals in the animals. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But I don't have a pharmaceutical test kit when I buy meat in the grocery store. So I don't eat meat. So further on like that discussion for you, I get all attacked by y'all meat-eating carnivores. Because they come for you, but they come for you like the okra people. The okra people and the meat eaters. Y'all got some triggers, man. I don't really understand that. But so, that's why I stopped doing drugs. They're like, oh, he used to do drugs. Hold on, how's my volume? Are we okay? I didn't even ask y'all today. I'm off in my zone. We're not even. I'm trying to check this mic thing out, make sure that we can have some background music at the same time, but y'all can hear me speaking. My voice doesn't cut out. I'm fighting the cutouts. So let me know if I cut out. Let me know if I cut out at a certain time. Sometimes I get a little excited. I get to flipping out a little bit. I get mad. And maybe the mic is rubbing on my shirt, but I don't know. All right. Anyway, where was I? Right, so drugs. I used to do drugs. Hell yeah, I used to do drugs. I used to do drugs all the damn time. I used to do Advil. I used to do Tylenol. I used to do, remember them cough drops? The little cough drops you used to get, you would pretend to your mama that you was sick. I was, Mama, my throat is sore. My throat itchy, Mom. Mama, because we had the cherry flavored cough drops. Man, those were like candy, y'all eating M&Ms. I was eating these. M&M, I had to clean my room for M&Ms. I had to sweep the driveway. I had to cut grass. I had to make sure my chores were on point. I had to be like your federal government with the Federal Reserve begging for money. I had to beg for M&Ms and Snickers and Twinkies and all those other things that offend my immune system as I was a kid, but my parents didn't know. But cough drops, hell no, you get them in a minute. All you gotta do, yes. They call the Lucin. Yes, Dan, you get the Lucin. And I would, I can't go to school, Mama, and Mama, she'd run upstairs, get you the cherry. Mom, I gotta take something to school. I gotta take something to school too. That was like my Jolly Ranchers. But okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. These are all drugs. So I used to do drugs. Hell yeah, I grew up in pharmaceutical drug culture. Used to do drugs all the time. Beg my mom. Mom used to help me. Daddy used to help me do drugs. We had a drug cabinet, y'all. We used to put all the drugs in the cabinet, and you can get all the drugs you wanted without going to see Boo Boo and Tink Tink down in DC. We had the safe drug. We had a safe drug dealer. But we didn't have CVS back then. I don't even know, where did we get our drugs from back then? We didn't have a Walgreens. You know, they on every damn corner now. Where do we even get our, this was a grocery store, right? We had drugs. I don't think we did. Was it the Woolworths? I forgot. My mind is doing that thing. But why did I stop being a drug dealer? It's not because I hate vaccines, not because I hate drugs. Why do I not eat as many donuts as I used to? Because I'm getting older. My immune system is actually working better than it ever has, to be honest with you. It's actually, ever since I stopped doing drugs, I stopped offending my body eating Twinkies every damn day, taking them Lucin cherry cough drops. My immune system magically started working. Imagine that. You don't offend your body and your immune system starts to work again. It's the craziest thing. So guess what? I stopped buying drugs. I stopped being a drug user. I stopped working for the drug companies too. I used to work for two of them. I stopped working for them. I stopped doing, they used to give us back then. Oh, it was free. It was better than mama drugs. They had a cabinet in the vendor used to go, they had free drugs. They experimenting on us and stuff. Drugs they couldn't sell in the United States, they were giving to us for free. Oh, they didn't have names. They didn't have like Lubridol, Sikacron, and Lepsopro. And how come they had like happy names too? They'd be like Happy X. Get you some. Sextol. But they didn't have those names. They were just generic. It was called head. It was called cold. It was called flu. It was called, they're like stress. They had, because I think they were drugs they couldn't sell in the United States, so they were testing on employees. But anyway, I won't even go there. I stopped doing drugs 10 years ago. And it's not because I hated vaccines. It's because they offend my body, and I decided I want to offend my body less. Does apple pie offend my body? Hell yeah, it does. And my immune system tells me the minute I put it in my mouth. But I've decided that the apple pie is a poison I'm going to eat. You know why? Because Giant got that one that got no sugar in it. Giant has one. They found a farmer that knows when to pick the damn apples, like an old farmer. He must be some old guy with like arthritis and stuff, but he still knows that you pick the apple and it's sweet and you don't have to add a bunch of sugar to it. However, I know there's sugar in the pie crust. I know that. But I've decided I want to offend my body less. Why? Because I don't want y'all paying for my health care. That's why. I believe in health care, y'all. I believe in, it's not the Bernie health care, it's not the Obama health care, and it's not the Hillary Clinton health care. Yes, she was on health care too. I believe in corporate health care. I believe that sick kids are born every day. And I have an obligation to not drive up the cost of medicine because I need to eat a damn Twinkie every day, because I need to eat a pie every day. So I need to get sick. Like there's always a cause and effect to everything you do. So I want to do my part in not driving up healthcare costs for the kids in need. Speaking of that, I got a friend of mine. I'm trying to encourage her to do a GoFundMe. Only because she has a daughter that was born with a condition that is very concerning. The drugs, and this is actually right on topic. And the drugs, I think the treatments cost somewhere around $15,000. They got to get a couple of times a year. It's a young couple. And in addition to doing my part in trying to drive down healthcare costs, living healthy, growing a garden, eating organic, eating less things that abuse my body, that cause me to get sick, to go out and do my part in ruining things. It's kids like that. It's kids like, see, my kids were all born healthy for the most part. Some of them got a little thing in the head. Some of them, but they're born with what their daddy had. They little, like, cuckoo. They got a little of that in there. But other than that, my kids are healthy. And I think it takes a village to raise a family. I'm trying to encourage her to do a GoFundMe or something, just so we in the community can, because her daughter is our daughter. And some of us lucked up and just had kids get sick. But we all have to do our parts. We all have to do our part. And that's my part. Because I don't really need your meat. I think your meat is nasty. I think your meat is nasty except for lamb and drugs. They cause problems with my immune systems. So why would I take them? They offend my body. I don't actually need them. I realize that you can tolerate pain to a certain degree, and I'd rather tolerate the pain and deal with long-term side effects. So I stopped taking drugs. And I think it would be damn wrong and foul and unconstitutional human rights violation for my government to tell me that I got to take bare aspirin. If they came up with a schedule for me to take Maroxanol, if they came up with a schedule to have a mandatory shot of bare aspirin or Tylenol, I would have an issue with that. I would have a major issue with that. So I want to kind of clear up some things, because this is the last time we're going to get to talk about this, right? This is one of the last times. Y'all watched Del Big Tree yesterday. I posted. It's one of the last times you're going to see this stuff on social media. It's going to be the last time we can have a conversation on factual data on both sides, because they're about to end all of that. They've had it. They want people to go get their vaccines, give them to their kids, and don't question anything. But I get it. It's Facebook platforms, YouTube platforms. It's not mine. It's not on this. This is their private area. They're making it very clear to all of us they don't want you questioning those drugs. So I'm not going to be allowed to question it. I'm going to tell you me. I don't take it. I don't take vaccines for the same reason I don't eat apple pie every day. I don't take flu shots for the same reason I don't eat blueberry pie every day. I'm not interested in any of the adult vaccines, not because on the side of the label that they actually tell you the side effects of death and all types of problems. They're very honest with you. I don't want to take them because they offend my body. If my government told me I had to eat a jelly donut every damn morning, I'd eat a jelly donut every damn morning. I'm sorry, I had to be honest with that. I tell you the truth. But that's because I like, okay, all right, I wouldn't. Because I'd have to be a cop then. I had to be a police officer then. No, I wouldn't eat a jelly donut every damn morning. I wouldn't do that. But it's about choices. It is about choices. You can't tell people what to do with their body. But this is the illogic that we're in. Dictation. Speaking of dictation, hold on, wait. All right, I'm gonna flip my picture one last time. Let me go get into the news. Speaking of dictation, being a dictator, it's all kind of dicks out there. There's dick snakes too. It's a real snake, y'all. It's a real snake. This is a snake. This is not what you think it is. This is actually a snake. So America, let's go into. I'm gonna go into the news. I'm gonna stop it. That's actually a real snake. What is the name of that snake? It's called a because they know very little about it. This is another species. They thought it went extinct, but it didn't. And was it 2011 they found one scurrying around. It's a construction worker. And I don't think they have like many specimens, but it's, what is it called? It's not called Elliot Abrams. Oh, I got to show you a press conference. I do got, and I don't even know the guy's name in this press conference. Let's learn about the snake.
The Vienna specimen of Atraticona is a large Sicilian at a length of 72.5 centimeters or 28.5 inches, while the Brazilian specimen
That's a big thing.
is larger still at 80.5 centimeters or 31.7 inches. This kind of Kesselians have a very strange way of feeding their young, that in fact don't resemble a penis like they elders do, but look much more like aliens, from that Sigourney Weaver movie. For years, scientists were puzzled by the rapid growth of baby Kesselians until they observed the offspring eating the mother's skin. This behavior is called maternal dermatophagy. The mother grows a layer of especially
Oh no, I'm done with that. All right, I'm finished. I'm done. The kids eat the parent's skin? Oh my God, look at the teeth in that thing. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. That talking about exporting violence. Talking about the United States, the #1 exporter of violence in the world. We get full of dictators in Washington. Oh my goodness. Hell no, I ain't watching. I'm done with that, y'all. I was trying to learn. I don't want to learn no more. I don't want to learn. I know. I'm shutting out with that. I was trying to go somewhere there, but that's a big damn dictator. That's a big damn dictator. Maduro is not a dictator. All right, let's get into the news. Let's get into the news. I had a little fun in the beginning, but that's my point. Not gonna be able to talk about the V word. But I'm not gonna change when it comes to that. I'm not gonna change. But I'm gonna line up, whether it's Bernie or Trump. And I'm gonna have to go ahead and get my shot because we had dictators everywhere. Then it's not a Trump thing, and it's not a Bernie thing. Every time I say the names, you get people triggered. It's just the point that when you have an oligarchy, the oligarchy decides. The people don't decide, the oligarchy decides. They've decided, because an oligarchy are just corporations in bed with government. Everybody thought the big problem was religion and government, which is why I don't know why y'all are still attacking religions. And the real threat was not the association of religion and government, but corporations and government, or maybe just anything. So we don't actually get to decide if we get mandatory vaccines. It's coming. It's done. That deal was signed, delivered, and done. I think California was one of the first ones that started. The deal was already done. The only choice you have is left arm or right arm. What arm you want to stick me in? They're going to bring the needle. It's going to be a Bernie needle or it's going to be a Trump needle. Where you want to stick. That's it. Might go on the internet and I can. That's my point. I start talking about it, then they'll turn it off. They've already made that decision. Doesn't matter who you put in office. As long as you are fighting with your neighbor, this is going to happen. Oh, well, okay. Well, somebody, what do we do? What do we do? I'm sorry, I was about to move on to something else. What do we do? I'll give you my perspective. I think what I did, when I realized how corrupt the whole shot industry was, because I worked in the industry and I had a scientist explain something to me. Once I realized that they're experimenting on the general public, that was a big part of my decision to stop buying drugs. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can anybody do? I had to stop buying drugs. Reduce the amount of drugs you take. Find yourself a naturopathic doctor. Find yourself a holistic doctor. Find yourself a hippie friend that knows that this is good for that, and spearmint does this, and dandelion tea does that, and cannabis does that. Reduce the medications you buy. You reduce the amount of money that goes in, which means you reduce the power the oligarchy has over your Bernie, which is reclining man-turned vaccine. That's what you do. It's a personal decision. That's why I say all of our problems are in the middle. In the mirror. We made all of our problems, and we keep all of our problems. We're doing illogical, ridiculous, dumb things. And our body, our ancestors, grandparents, everybody who came before us said, don't abuse your body. Even the scripture said that. Doesn't the scripture say, don't abuse your temple? That's the body. And if you know that these drugs are abusing it, then don't do it. But that's what you do. You got to take power from them. And the only language oligarchs speak is revolution and dead presidents. And I personally have no interest in Brother John shooting off his case. Brother John here? No, that brother keeps his powder dry, got cannons at the house probably. Now, I have no interest in a violent revolution at all. If we know the only thing that oligarchy responds to is dead presidents, that's the only thing that stops oligarchy. If you think about it, like literally and metaphorically, dead presidents are the only thing factually that stands up to oligarchies. That's it. Dead presidents, money, and the presidents they killed. Abraham Lincoln, JFK, and that's how you know your president's standing up to the oligarchy. And dead presidents, your money, your pocket. Voting that matters. The money you take out of your pocket, walk into CVS to buy your drugs. That's all you can do. That's it. Let me keep moving. Become your own holistic healer. Exactly, Jam. That's power and that's strength. It's just somebody, all right, that kind of said two words, made me think, what the hell does it mean to speak truth to power? Will somebody tell me? Because I have no idea what the hell that means. I hear people say it, they're like, speak truth to power. And I love how it sounds. I want to be in the club. Can I be in that club too? Can y'all? Somebody tell me what the hell that means? Because I wasn't with you marching. I wasn't in your protests. I don't believe in your government. And y'all come up with these colloquialisms and phrases and stuff. And some of us are on the outside. We don't know the hell y'all talking about. I don't know what speak truth to power is. But it sounds like something Jasmine just said. Sounds something like that. Become your own holistic doctor. Be your own holistic healer. Don't do things that offend your body. And take natural things that don't have side effects. That's it. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got on that. All right, let's move in. Let's move in. So we got the killer whale that's going extinct that we just found. And we got Maduro, right, Maduro. So speaking of dictators, I want to show y'all this yesterday. I couldn't show you because I keep running out of time. We don't have enough time to do this stuff. But that's how forced labor society goes. That's how it goes. I posted a good thing last night. We got into a great conversation. We were talking about cannabis, right? Cannabis. There was a study that showed that kids who took cannabis, or youth, let's say it right, youth, you get in trouble, say it wrong. Youth who took cannabis, they were like 37% more likely to be depressed. I was like thinking about it. I was like, man, you know what? That's weird. That's kind of jacked up. But maybe they're depressed because it wakes them up. Maybe they're depressed because it makes them happy. Maybe they get depressed because I've never smoked that stuff in my life, but maybe they get depressed because my friends who smoke, yeah, it opens your mind and makes you think. Maybe they're depressed because it was like a red pill. Maybe that was like the Matrix thing. It opens up your mind and expands your mind to where you won't be okay making $150,000 a year working for Goldman Sachs. Maybe it makes you realize that this is a foul monoculture forced labor society, that children actually need to be free, that adults are much happier if they do what they want as opposed to what these Rothschild big corporations tell them to do Monday through Friday. Maybe that depression is brought on by it wakes them up to the Matrix and the lies that their parents brought them into. Maybe they're depressed because they're supposed to be, because they can actually see what we can't. So I posted that and we got into a good discussion about it. And one of the sisters replied, it was deep. She said, well, you know what? Maybe they were taking cannabis because they were depressed. Whoa, I stopped and thought about that a bit. She's right. I didn't even think about that, because you look at these studies and the discussion starts, but you need somebody who's thinking outside of your box to actually make sense of it. I think about everything in Hollywood. I think in terms of Hollywood and like 1984 and Matrix, I think of a zombie apocalypse and aliens. That's how I think of. She kind of blew up my spot. She was like, yeah, well, maybe they were depressed and that's why they actually got the cannabis. Which makes sense. They'd be 37% likely, because maybe 37% is more likely to ignore what big pharmaceutical companies want, to ignore what big authoritarian dictator federal governments want. Maybe they're the ones who will take the risk. Maybe they're the rebels, and I'm in this major depression, and if I might commit suicide if I don't go off and find me something to find some happiness in this evil little society somewhere. Deep, powerful thing. And another sister said something else. I think she was young. She just said something to the effect of, yeah, and when the parents catch the kids, they get in trouble or they don't understand. And I was stopping. I was processing that. Man, I've never caught my kids doing it. But what if you caught your kids who were in major depression and you just didn't know? They defied the federal government. Because I'd be upset. I'd say, hey, don't bring that crap in my house because I don't want the feds in my house. Bastards, I want them in my house. But then I would be coming down on my babies because they had a problem that I didn't know about that might end in their suicide. It was deep. I'm not gonna go down that route. It was deep. It makes you think about these things. And that's why I like social media. And that's what I think the power of social media is. You have all these different people who think differently than you. They have different experiences and perspectives than you do. She probably was caught by her parents smoking cannabis and they came down on her, but she was dealing with crap she couldn't understand. And because we live in a dictator society. Where the dick snake at? I'm sorry, I'm bringing it back. That's mandating mandatory vaccines because everybody in Washington always ends up acting like a snake, a dick snake. Parents would turn on their children, making everything worse. This is why I believe in a free society, y'all. They don't hate us for our freedom. They hate us for our freedom. Because we're a bunch of dummies and we're dumb and we're still doing this stuff and keeping it up. All right, let's keep going. I will get into it. So it was powerful. It was powerful. All kind of discussions. This is the power of social media. This is the power of it not being censored. If you can actually have a free social media with free discussion on every topic from every angle, powerful, powerful conversations can come about. Amazing things can happen with our intellects and our intelligence becoming a hive mind. But when you have social media that's forced to operate within the realm of an oligarchical government that requires censorship to continue to export violence around the world as its #1 export and domination of its people, acting like dictators, looking at Maduro, calling him a dictator. And social media can't allow you to have free discussion about the things you need to. I wanted to show you this yesterday. I'm gonna show it to you now. There's so much stuff I see. It's like I can't even get to all of it. There's never enough time. Oh my goodness. Shoot, police still shooting people. This one I actually, well, I'm not gonna get into that. We'll talk about that one in a minute. I actually understand the police. I understand the police in this one, but I will do that in a second. I want to show you a press conference, pieces of it that. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Where is it? That's not it. That's not. I should probably show you when I'm flipping through. And you're all commenting. I gotta do a better job looking at your comments. Where is no, did that. Nope. Totally insane. Yep, that's America. Nope, not that. It's here it is. State Department. Berates.
Welcome to Jamaica.
That's not it. That's Jamaica. Commercial. That commercial. Yes, that's a good commercial. Not the Apple Vacation part, but the Jamaica.
We have noticed in news coverage.
All right, I'll stop. Let's bring it back. I went to Jamaica for a minute. Hold on, stop. I got excited. I was like, yeah, I heard the music. That's a good commercial. But that Apple mess, that Apple. All right, let's bring it back. Seriousness. That's like the first commercial I like that I've seen in like 15 years. All right, here we go. Guaido, State Department berates journalists for calling Guaido opposition leader instead of interim president.
That some outlets are incorrectly referring to Juan Guaido as the opposition leader or the self-proclaimed president. Neither is correct. Relying on Venezuela's constitution, Juan Guaido became interim president of Venezuela on January 23rd. Millions of Americans and more than 50 countries recognize Juan Guaido as interim president of Venezuela.
Let me get this straight. You're complaining because news outlets are calling him by a title that you don't think that he...
Not a complaint, pointing out, just trying to correct.
Well, it sounds like a complaint to me, and that seems pretty weak.
He's the interim president, and we don't want to...
You consider him to be the interim president, and as you say, 50 other countries outside of recognize him as the interim president. But there are more than 190 members of the United Nations. So your 50 countries is not even close to half.
It's the time to act in support of democracy. And
the news coverage of calling him the legitimate leader, the president, is going to encourage more countries to recognize.
We don't want to feed into the rhetoric of the current dictator.
Okay.
I love it. This is where my hope comes from, y'all. This is where my hope comes from. Because even the press, the media, your FBI, your CIA, your MI6, all of these evil dictator organizations are all full of human beings. And every now and then, you're going to get one that's real. Every now and then, I know who that is. He can work for CNN or Fox or MSN, whoever he works for. That brother paused. Off script. Now, mind you, he will never be back in the State Department ever again in life. He pulled a Chris Hedges. He actually got his moment in the sun. This is what I'm saying, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell you about the Tiger. Cat Williams. You're supposed to be waiting for your moment. It's not your moment, not at all times. Sometimes you just wait in the cut for your moment to actually say the most powerful thing that needs to be said. This is the same thing that we do in the schools, y'all. This is the indoctrination. Taking in this idea that it's a good idea for government to continue to tell people how to live their lives. A government that's rolling out, plotting, planning mandatory vaccines to roll out on its entire adult population, scheming with companies, dictating to humans how they can live their lives. The American citizens are calling Maduro a dictator. They're saying to tell they're telling the press. This is the literal thing. Somebody posted, what was the CIA operation? They were giving out cash to the media outlets and they declassified that. They were controlling the media. But you have to know the name of that operation because Obama did that with the Propaganda Act. This is the Propaganda Act unfolding right in front of your eyes. We are telling you he is a dictator. We are telling you Guaido is the interim president. And it actually has everything to do with the Venezuelan law, which is a lie, right? How many media outlets, I think it was Al Jazeera and another one, went in, RT did it, and they did a breakdown in the Venezuelan laws, and he actually is the president. He was elected, and it's not a dictatorship. And the other reason I know is because Guaido went home. Y'all know he went home, right? Guaido went home. He went home. He had that big, massive crowd of 100 people, plus journalists who welcomed him back. Sellout bastard. But think about this. He went home and he didn't get arrested. He's bopping around, giving speeches. Imagine that. Imagine a dictatorship with so much freedom that you can challenge the president and call yourself the president, that you can incite a takeover of the government, that you can work with the CIA and the Colombian government actually has to stop you from pushing a conflict across the border with over 100 soldiers, including American Special Forces, and the Colombian government has to stop you. Imagine if you did that to the United States. Imagine, just for a minute, if you got together with ISIS and y'all went up to the Mexican border and you were getting ready and had 100 fighters going to break into America, but Mexican government stopped you. You went on TV calling for the overthrow of America. You think you're going to get in the airplane and land in America? You think you're going to get tired? Nah, I'm tired of overthrowing America from another country. I think I'm going to go home to San Diego. You come flying back in, land in San Diego, and just go back to your apartment. Think that's going to happen? No, that only happens in free countries like Venezuela. In America, Assange hasn't even said anything about overthrowing the American government. Assange hasn't said anything about a violent revolt. Assange hasn't said anything about any kind of violent anything that Guaido said. And if Assange just steps his butt out of the embassy, let alone lands in America, that man is going to find himself in a prison, buried, if not murdered, for the rest of his. You can't be murdered for the rest of your life, can you? All right, let me finish it up. But I think this is interesting. This is our hope, is that everybody's in key positions, and when your time comes, you got to say what's true, and this is what this brother did.
In a similar vein, US Senator Marco Rubio also tried schooling the media, lambasting CNN for using the term self-proclaimed when referring to Guaido's supposed interim presidency. He said the phrase was used by Russia to undermine the constitutional legitimacy of Guaido's claim. Rubio even jokingly hinted at possible collusion between CNN and Moscow. Let's gauge the state of world opinion on the matter of Guaido's legitimacy. 54 countries recognize him as Venezuela's leader. The rest of the world either supports Nicolas Maduro, is neutral, or backs the opposition-run National Assembly.
And while the majority of the world supports Nicolas Maduro, which is a great thing, it is all completely inconsequential. None of them live in Venezuela. And I don't live in Venezuela, so it's none of my damn, not one drop, none of it. Because that makes you a dictator if you think it's your business. Those people live there. Those people decided they want their oil for themselves. Those people decided they want their resources for themselves. They've decided to go away from your model of having a Rothschild bank and your model of crony capitalism and giving all the resources in the land that belong to the monkeys, the bears, the birds, the bees, the microbiology, and the human beings, and giving it to big corporations. They decided they don't want to go your direction. They decided that under Chavez, and that's their choice, not ours. Otherwise, it makes you a dictator like any kind of a dictator trying to shove a vaccine, bear aspirin, a Twinkie, a donut in anybody.
Yet without recognizing Guaido.
I thought that was gonna go. But I thought that was good. I thought that was funny. I was okay with that. I was okay with that, brother. I have no idea who he is. And remember, everything comes back to sovereignty. I appreciate Danny Glover saying that yesterday. Everything comes back to leave people alone. It's not your body. What works for you doesn't work for them. Which is why I'm not anti-vaccine. Like I said, I'm not anti-flu shot. I'm not anti-bear aspirin. I'm not anti-donut. I'm anti something that works for you telling other people what to do. I'm anti because you did your research, and your research that is good for you to force this in, to allow corporations to put a chemical in your child's body or your body, to not force anybody else to do it based on the research they did. Because what they looked at might be damn different than what you looked at. It's about sovereignty. Everything is about leave other people alone. You do you. Hold your chair down. A friend in college used to say, you just hold your chair down. Just make sure your chair doesn't fly away. You just hold your chair. That's enough. You worry about the logs in your eye, not the sawdust in everybody else. You hold your spot down. Because I don't want your chair flying away, trying to steal somebody else's chair. Real wise brother who said that. Let me see where we want to go. Oh, and Yellow Vest news. I hadn't mentioned the Yellow Vest in a minute. They got the big water trucks out there spraying people. Yeah, because this makes damn good sense. People who wanted their government to stop, for the government to send out there and spray dirty lake water on them. It's wintertime in France. Although I appreciate that to a degree, because if it was in America, they'd be spraying fully automatic assault weapons and 5G and laser guns at them. Because Americans don't have near the freedom French do. More dictators acting on their dictatorships. More armed men. I like to keep stuff basic. Here's a citizen going about his business, upset with his government, upset paying these people salaries. These damn stormtroopers that got weapons and guns and utility belts and pepper sprays and maces and batons and Kevlar vests and all the technology they can fit around that belt. Right underneath all them damn jelly donuts. Do they eat jelly donuts in France? Y'all police do that too? They probably eat jelly croissants. There's absolutely no reason, none whatsoever, for police, for people whose salary you pay, have you on the ground facing the dirt with all the weapons that you would fight a war with. This is what I'm saying is the difference between sovereignty and freedom and a free society and all this bullshit that we got now. It is outrageous, Christine, and many were killed in this, and all is not. But for the most part, people being peaceful. But it doesn't really matter if they're peaceful or not, because it's their government. They have the right to tell their government how it should and should operate. They have a right to tell their government if they want mandatory vaccines for them, not anybody else, or if they don't. They have a right to tell their government, we're tired of you guys spending all the money on yourselves. We're tired of you guys colluding with big corporations. And they have a right to do that. Oh, Maduro failed the dictator test. Let's look at that.
So,
what's this?
when the giant ladybug came
That Whirlpool? That's Whirlpool.
Buzz went first. He won first place.
I'm gonna let this one play.
Wasp went second.
Care can be distracting.
Really?
That's why our Whirlpool Smart range lets you care smarter with control from anywhere. So life doesn't revolve around your range.
A giant robot ladybug comes in and gives them toys.
Every day, care.
Don't they just play you? Oh, they're so good at marketing and advertising. Y'all criminals. So Whirlpool is one of the companies, the big 5G companies, right? Because they're the ones rolling out the appliances. The oven talk to the microwave tell on you with the refrigerator, mad at you because you yelling at your kids playing tackle or something. They call the police and the toaster. Then they roll out the 6G. They're a part of all of that. All that AI runs your house, control the human nonsense, telling everybody devices. I got pulled off on that. But you know how they play you? Baby. That's how they get us. They know what to do. You're like, oh, it's so cute. The oven was on. The baby almost died. The baby almost died. They're going to burn them all up because they don't have a hemp house. Hemp houses don't burn, you guys. So instead of a big hemp house, the solution obviously is 5G. I need all of my appliances to talk to me. I need all my appliances taking pictures of me and my wife walking naked around the house. I need appliances that'll call the police anytime I'm playing too rough with my children. Because that makes sense. Not just building houses made of that don't actually burn down. I don't know. But they play us. They play us because they get me too. You look at, but see, technology, once again, I'm not against technology. It's a good thing. Technology is always a good thing, but the problem is we don't test none of this stuff out, just like your mandatory vaccines and flu shots. Because you know the vaccines would be mandatory, then the flu shots would be mandatory. Like these are like the no-brainer type stuff. No-brainer type stuff. It has nothing to do with it.
There are a whole array of
It has to do with whether or not it's okay to violate somebody else. That's it. And Americans, this is why it just discombobulates me, and I have no idea, and I just don't understand why Americans have so much trouble identifying priorities. I have no idea. That means it's just so emotional. Maybe it's like what I was talking about yesterday. Maybe it's because they got that drama queen thing going. They love their drama queen leaders. They love the drama, and they can't focus on the priorities. But anyway, let's look at
politicians who don't approve of Nicolas Maduro. But one of the labels that he's given is worth exploring. According to them, Nicolas Maduro is a dictator.
Nicolas Maduro is a dictator.
Tyranny of the now defunct Maduro regime.
Dictadura de Venezuela.
Brutal dictator Nicolas Maduro
And his mayhem.
So what exactly is a dictator? Now, the term generally refers to authoritarian leaders who crush their opposition and have absolute power. But what's been happening in Venezuela lately?
Hang on, before we get there. So a power that crushes its opposition and has total power. And I know some people are silly, they still think about Democrats and Republicans, and I'm just like, oligarchy, Democrats for oligarchy, Democrats oligarchy, they all work for the oligarchy, they're all part of the oligarchy that crushes all dissenting voice. What is it when you actually can't question whether or not you want a flu shot in your butt? What is it when you can't even question? What is it when you crush the opposition? It's called a dictator. It means you're a dick. That's what it means.
At this point, we've got a minor opposition figure, Juan Guaido, declaring himself to be the interim president. And at this point, he's got the United States and Britain backing him. He was then banned from traveling by the Supreme Court.
I'm going to clear up Cade and Mapo. I think that's his name. What's his name? Cade? Mapo, Cade. Something like that. Anyway, I forgot his name already. No. Be clear on something. America and the West aren't supporting Guaido. Guaido is supporting America in the West. And let's be clear on that. And the West and America are supporting the central banking systems and the big corporations that get loans from them. Because this is how this works. Explained it all before. The big corporations need the minerals and resources, and the pharmaceutical companies want slaves to work in them. They want to destroy. The banana companies want to burn the fields, steal the land from the people, and plant banana crops. Chiquita Banana House, still a company, I don't know. In order to do that, they must get loans. In order to get loans and have bank accounts at the big banks, the little banks, and the medium banks, all make money on the interest and the bank fees and the loans, they have to have a project to loan. So the big corporations do really, really well by getting interest in destroying countries so they can get loans to make more money, to have more money in the banks, and the banks make money on that. So the big corporations buy your politicians, Democrats and Republicans, so they can go destroy countries, so they can get loans, so the Federal Reserve can print a whole lot of money and make a lot of money on the middle size, small size, and big banks. That's how it all works. It actually is very, very simple. And it's fractional reserve banking, so it's not even double dipping, it's like triple dipping, because there's never enough money in circulation to actually pay back the loans. That is why we're going to Venezuela, and that is why America and the West aren't in support of Guaido, but Guaido is in support of the oligarchy that's taking over the empire of the planet. That's how it all works. That's how everybody makes money and America doesn't get a damn thing. So let's be clear on that. You're not getting anything from it. Because I have friends who say that, and they still post on it. Well, it's better that we get the oil than Iran get the oil. Iran ain't getting the oil. America will, the oligarchs that own the Pentagon will blow the whole planet up before they let Iran get a drop of that oil. Or China or Russia. And you ain't getting it neither. Big corporations are getting it. Remember, you don't have a capitalist society. You have crony oligarchy. That's what you have.
So, what did he do? He then went on a speaking tour of Latin American countries, rallying support from those who want to violently overthrow the Venezuelan government. After that, what did he do?
I'm not done. I'm sorry. I get upset. Sister just posted something. Who's that? Estella, she posted, made me think. And on top of that's the debt, right? Because it's not even a trifecta. It's not a double dip. It's not a quadruple dip, but it's a future dip. Because who ends up paying for it? Who ends up paying for it? Our kids do. It's debt. That's how they make their money. So we go deeper in debt because we print the money and our kids got to pay it back and we pay it back. Which is why Brother Al, I ain't even seen Brother Al around. No Patricia here. I ain't seen Brother Al in a minute. But that's why he always said America's a looting operation. That's what this is. America's being looted, and it's been being looted for a very long time by the Federal Reserve, and it started in 1913. Go back. Keep in mind, 1913, that's when America was sold to international bankers. And that's why you have no influence in government. That's why you can't stop 5G, and you can't stop them from invading Venezuela if you want. That's why it doesn't matter who your president is. That's why it doesn't matter who's in Congress. It doesn't matter who's in Senate. None of that matters. Corporation, and it's no big evil thing. It's just a system. Right? I don't see evil in it. You know, like even the pharmaceutical companies, they're just competing against each other. Evil. It's just we refuse to stop it. We refuse to tell them enough is enough. We'd rather fight with other people because they look a little different or they are born in a different part of the country. They don't have our culture, our religion. We'd rather fight with them and be drama queens than say enough is enough. We're tired of you exporting violence. That's not the American way. And then so how does it relate to Britain and Europe, everybody else? Is we got the guns and the weapons and the tanks and the bombs and the drones and the nukes and everybody else, we give them to everybody else. And our kids pay for that too. That's debt too. So they come along with us in this scam to go destroy nations, to give all the resources to corporations so the banks can make big money and the 12 families that own the Federal Reserve can rule the world because we give them weapons. And then France takes those weapons and Britain takes those weapons. They go sell them to somebody else in Africa, wherever. And that's how it all works.
Stayed in exile, fearing for his life, knowing that if he returned, the harsh regime would kill him, right? Well, no. He actually felt safe enough to get on a commercial flight and go back to Venezuela. He still has not been arrested, and the United States itself forbids people from doing this kind of thing.
Whoever incites, sets on foot, assists, or engages in any rebellion against the authority of the US shall be fined or imprisoned not more than 10 years, or both.
Imagine that some kind of fringe activist pulled a Guaido in America and declared himself to be the president with, say, Venezuela or Iran backing him. Well, Guaido hasn't been arrested, and he's walking around giving speeches freely in Venezuela.
I was able to enter Venezuela thanks to you and your mobilization in all of Venezuela. We feel that today we've made a decisive step towards the conquest of our freedom.
Venezuela, I love y'all for y'all freedom. I realize nobody hates me for mine. Y'all hate us for our freedom, but I love y'all for your freedom.
Lopez, Guaido's longtime ally, was actually convicted of inciting violence against the Venezuelan government. His trial received huge international attention, and after a brief stint in prison, he was in house arrest. And from his home, he was once again rallying people to overthrow Maduro. This is how Lopez's wife described his treatment by the supposed dictatorship.
Leopoldo's in contact with everyone, every day, constantly. He's been sewing together an opposition that's totally united and strong.
Now,
so hold on, so he went to prison. Y'all know anybody who went to prison? Y'all know anybody who went to prison? I do. Which is why and he contacts people. This guy Leopold, he gets to talk to everybody on the day in constant contact. They got constant contact probably in their prison. They take our kids and they put them under the damn hole. This is why I turned on you, black leadership. I told y'all this a minute ago. People get upset with me. They're like, come on, be on our team. I'm not on your team because I know the African American, that thing in America, the black leadership, they're sellouts. All of them. They wrote the crime bill. They're the reason black lives don't matter. I went to college. I watched all the black kids going to college, heading somewhere. Every Saturday, used to go visit my friend that the Democrats had locked up in a prison for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Threw his life away like a dog. And to get to him, oh my goodness, you know how many locks you gotta go to visit somebody in an American prison? A dictator's prison? Man, I hated going there. I was scared to death. And yeah, it affected me. I know, we're my psychology friends. They're gonna try to take me apart. They're gonna tell you everything's wrong with me. At 18 years old, going to see my best friend who grew up in the church. He was an aficionado at the piano. He used to play the piano for the church at the age of 6. And I had to go visit him in prison. You know what that did to me? You know how that turned me against your sellout black elite and black caucus all over. Turned me against them. That's why I don't do that sellout thing. I can't dance with y'all. I can't get down with you. Because if you throw children in prison, you are a dictator. Okay? All right, I'm done. I'm not gonna play the rest of it. I'll send you the link. I can't watch it. It's just I can't play that. I can't play the nonsense. We can't do the nonsense here. How y'all doing this morning? I didn't greet nobody, did I? I'm being a dick. Penis power will devour. Yes, it will, Tina, because we get behind penis power in Washington at all times. We get behind the dicks and we cheer them. Yeah, go dicks, go dicks, go dicks, go dicks. And it doesn't matter. Even the women, the ones that don't have dicks, they still act like dicks and they just put on a white shirt. Yeah, I'm not pulling no punches. I'm not pulling no punches because y'all don't pull punches. You're kind of hard on Congress. No, I'm telling the truth, and they don't pull no punches. They murder people all over this planet. They pull mass shootings all over this planet, and everybody's okay with it. At least some of us shouldn't be. People around the world need to know there's some Americans that don't want any parts of this nonsense. Not only that, speaking of that, weren't they the Jews? What's happening in Israel? I saw they were, hang on, wait a minute, wait, I was about to get ready. I'm gonna read the comments, then I'm gonna get out of here, but in Israel, you know, how come we don't ever know what's happening in Israel? I seen them taking the Jews and abusing them. Did y'all see that? They do it all the time. Look at this. They abusing Jews in Israel. Look at this. They got horses, and y'all know y'all pay for the horses, right? Y'all pay for it with that. They abusing Jews in Israel. Y'all see this? This is some anti-Semitism right here. Do y'all see this? Look at these Draconian police dragging the guy, throwing him on the ground and dragging him. Do y'all see this? Where's the outrage? Where's the anti-Semitism? Stop the Israel government from abusing the Jews, sitting in the street having a peaceful protest. Look at that. What they doing to that Jew right there? What they doing? Where's the outrage? See, that's what. It's okay when you do it. It's not okay when somebody else says you shouldn't be shooting children. Look at this. But we don't know what's going on in there. It's important, let me stop. It's important for us to see this because people turn on Israel. They don't know Israel is full of a lot of their cousins, full of a lot of people they're related to, a lot of people who don't want to be under the rule that they're under. Same way I do this. Let people know, damn it, all Americans ain't lining up behind the wars and the rape and the destruction all over this planet. I get what's going on and we're trying to stop it best that we can, peacefully. That's some anti-Semitism right there. But it's important that we see that. It's important we see that how they treat their citizens. And does that look kind of familiar to you? You see it all happen all over the United States too. This is kind of why I'm in. I think I am in that. I think the anarchists got me. I think y'all got me. I think I'm in that. I think I'm done with this government experiment. I think I'm finished with it, to be honest with you. I can't think that we can do any worse on our own. I don't. Everything from the dark ages is now, what's the point of government? Things were supposed to get better and things didn't get better. People say, oh, world hunger's down. No, world hunger's down in your country. World hunger's down in your neighborhood. Oh, rape is down. You can't even produce a statistic how much rape actually occurs. And we see people complaining all over this planet. So what actually got better since we got government? Somebody tell me. What got better? What has happened that would not have happened if we did it on? I think I'm done with it, y'all. I do. Try to pull me back if you want, but I think I'm kind of in that camp that I'm done because I see government all over this planet just abusing human beings, abusing my family all over this planet. I don't think the government experiment's working out. I think you're probably better free and not under some dicks. Not under a Congress full of dicks. Not under a big bag. All right, anyway, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm done. I'm wrapping. I'm going to get out of here, do comments, and I'm going to run. So don't think I don't read your comments. I do. I got to get my bag of cotton and do my picking too. It's the world we live in. For society, we are in the matrix. Good morning, Carolyn. Good morning, Ish. Present for my nightly triggering, Gerard. Oh, okay, Ish. I didn't know I triggered you. You were always pretty calm. I didn't know that. You watch it at nighttime. That's right. You're in Australia. That's right. That's way out there, I think. Let me see. The journalist will be fired after that. Yep, that journalist is gone. He will never be back at the deep state press release. Why? Because he actually asked a real question. He actually told the American deep state, which is run by oligarchs, that no, you're a dictator. We're not saying that. The majority of the world isn't saying that. You come up with this idea because you want to invade a nation. And you're not allowed to talk to your owners that way. So so he's gone-ish. You're not allowed to talk to your owners that way. You're uppity slave. He's done. Yeah, slaves come in white skin. He's done. He'll never be invited back. Just like Chris Hedges will never be on ABC again. We're being colonized by a global scale by colonizers with armies. Exactly. Its colonization never stopped. Never stopped. They just made it popular. That's all. And people who are colonized are now cheering colonization. It's scary, but that's the way it works. The oppressor always becomes the oppressed always become the oppressors. Anyone can justify killing others if you win the stuff. Exactly. It's the booty, Jimmy. It's the booty. That's it. It's booty and dicks. I sound like Chris now. Booty and dicks. That's all it is. It's about the spoils of war. It's about the pirate booty. It's about the privateers, what they want to get in a ship and go rob from other people. It's always about that. Very simple, very simple. The spoils of war. And unfortunately, women have always been a spoil of war, along with gold, oil, resources, minerals, all of it. Debt isn't real. It's a fear tactic. Exactly, Lord, but that's how they get people scared. Because debt is a fantasy. Money's a fantasy. They just took it and put it in place of human survival. They put it in place of food, water, my kids get to live. And so now we'll fight each other over money and debt, and we'll just embrace all horrible cultures and activities and things that done since the Dark Ages, and war and rape and voting for a political party, because we need the money and we need the debt. We need those things for survival. That's why what Jasmine was saying earlier, I agree with 100,000%, which is people got to go back to being strong. People got to go back to being independent and not dependent on this psychopathic systems. Plant some seeds, grow some food, dry your herbs, can something, do things that you don't have to be dependent on this. Buy less drugs, buy more spearmint, learn what herbs do in your body, get strong again. At some point, we got to get tired of being so damn weak. We're weak. That's why I don't blame the government. Don't blame the oligarchs. We gave it to them and we cheer for them to keep it because we're weak and we're happy being weak. Not me though. Well, you know, I'm weak. I'm trying not to be weak. Actually, I think I actually can make it though. I've been growing food a minute now. I'm getting pretty good at it. Pretty damn good at it. I've built 3 or 4 greenhouses, sustainable and using solar energy and figuring out what plants I can grow through the winter in my climate. I might actually make it. Might not. I don't know. Maybe if I could get a time machine, go find a 10-year-old from 100 years ago. Somebody a hell of a lot stronger than I am who actually knows how to take care of themselves. Maybe she'll help me or something. Never trust your physician. No, you know, Shakespeare said that. All right, Daniel. Well, I never trust anybody. It's not even vaccine companies, big pharma, or physicians or doctors. It's about never trust anybody because you live on a planet full of 98% monkeys that run everything, and they're 98% monkeys. That's the thing you must remember. Nobody knows how the human body actually works. Nobody. Not a person. You have the people on this planet. Every time they think they figure out biophotons, every time they think they figure it out, something else happens. They figure out a new science and quantum physics, and they figure out the electromagnetic energy that 5G. Every time we think we got something figured out, we find out we don't have it figured out. That's why you can't force anybody. That's why you got to have sovereignty. We are not as smart as we think we are. None of us. So I say, don't trust your physician. Don't trust anybody. You do your own research. You make your own decision. and ignore what everybody else has to say in terms of telling you what to do, including an oligarchical government that's run by corporations that sell the drugs. I mean, don't be a dick. Betty White, go on, Betty. Yes, brother Jimmy, conquest, that's what it's about. It's always about stealing what other people have, killing them and stealing. We need to hold oil executive. I mean, we need to hold oil executive. Jimmy, I don't know what the hell you're talking. You got me, Jimmy. I have no idea. Sometimes you say deep stuff, brother. I don't know what I was talking about a minute ago, so I'm trying to move forward. In a world where dicks rule, one man stood erect. Tina, who let Tina? Tina, calm down. I know, I did it. I know it's my fault. I made the title. It's on me. This is why I don't trust doctors. This is why I don't trust doctors. It's so stressful. I actually get sick. Yeah, well, doctors, they're not doctors anymore, Kimberly. I call them their chemists. I mean, I appreciate them. If I'm about to die, doctor save me. But when I'm healthy, naturopath, herbalist, holistic doctor, ancestor grandmama, y'all tell me what to do. I'm not an Asher doctor person. I am not at all. No, Helen, no teams. We can't be on no teams. People get all the time, Helen. You on our team? No, I am not on your team. I know what your team does. You kill people, you rape people, you blow things up. Only selectively, you don't blow up your friends. You don't kill your friends. You're okay when mass shootings happen in another country that you pay for, but you're mad and upset and crying when it happens in your country. I don't do no teams on nothing. I ain't on nobody's team. I am on Team Earth, maybe. And that's temporary till the aliens get hit in. We're Team Solar System, wherever they from. There's no reason. We live in an abundant universe on an abundant planet. There's no reason to have a team. Everybody can have everything they want. As long as it doesn't violate somebody else's sovereignty. As long as it's within the realms of peace, everybody can have everything they want. Teams are about ganging up, getting bigger numbers so you can force other people to do something they don't want to do. That's why government's a failed experiment. That's a team. A nation is a team. It's a failed experiment. Teamism, I think maybe you said it best. Teamism is a failed experiment. We need to stop with the team. We need to let that go. We don't have velociraptors no more. We don't have massive short-faced bears trying to kill us. We don't need to group up our own species and steal what they got. So I'm out of the teams. I don't do no teams. I'm with you. You can't contact the outside constantly in American prisons, even when you haven't been found guilty. I guess America is worse dictatorship than Venezuela. Exactly, Susan. 1,000%. 1,000%. I used to get the phone calls. We have a phone call from you from the Department of Corrections. And I knew that was my best friend calling. And to me, that's why I hate your government. Well, I don't hate them. They're slavers. They're slavers. They put little kids in prison that they disagree with. And to me, I think it's insanity for growing a damn plant, growing something that God put in the Garden of Eden. That's just crazy and criminal. All right, Tina. Oh, Lord. Did y'all see what Tina's typing? Was I like scrolling by while I was talking? Tina, girl, calm down. It's my Tina. Goodness. I can't read that. All right, yeah. Well, no, I did say that, Jasmine. I did say the dick word because that's just a word. I don't think that's a cuss word. We all got our own levels. Well, I don't judge nobody. Y'all do the 4-letter things. That's one 4-letter I'll go to. It just is what it is, But everybody's got their own limits. That's why I don't tell anybody. People come out, do interviews, say, am I supposed to cuss and I not cuss? You do whatever you do. You come on my little show thing is because I want to talk to you. And I want you to Chris come on and so I don't question you. I let people do what they need to do. Stop telling people what to do. I know many geniuses, beautiful minds who've been or still are locked up. Daniel, and I think there's a reason for that. I do. I think we were talking about cannabis. I think because the kids who are depressed, what to do. The kids they can't sit down in the damn classroom. They can't sit there for 8 hours a day and have somebody dictate to them. They want to be outside. They want to be running and in the jungle. They want to find a dick snake. They want to be in the ocean swimming with the killer whales. They want to learn and discover their world. And I think those those revolutionary kids whose mind just is outside of mine. Because I wasn't one of those kids, yo. I was the slave kid. I sit there, yes, teacher. Tell me, teacher. I had a mind that was predisposed for slavery. I didn't need the ADHD. I didn't have parents running the pharmaceutical companies to drug me. I was predisposed to sitting in a classroom and learning that way. But a lot of kids aren't. And so maybe those are the kids who do the cannabis and do these drugs, or not drugs, because they're not drugs, they're just natural medicines, that do these things and allows them to cope with the indoctrination of us trying to force them to be something that they're not. You're onto something, because you're right, because the people in prison, amazing minds are in prison. I guarantee you, Dan, and this is why I'm against the whole prison system. I guarantee you, we got Nikola Tesla sitting in prison in the United States. I guarantee you, we got Einsteins sitting in prison, we got the greatest minds that probably could take hemp and make that automated robot and save the planet, figure out how to clean plastic out the ocean, just open, free, critical thinking minds that aren't trapped in the slave mind like I got, aren't trapped in the box, but actually think outside the box. And they think so far outside the box that they couldn't sit in a damn classroom. This is how we shoot ourselves in the foot. And we gotta stop, y'all. We gotta stop. Let kids be kids. You gotta end this war on drugs. You gotta end it. That's all we do is we outsource violence out of Congress and Senate all damn day. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. We're holding, this is why I think government has actually held us back, because they always get into this authoritarian place where they want to be dicks and dictate everything to everybody. And it holds back our creative minds and it kills them. Speaking of killing, I am going to show that little quick police video. I am going to show that. I didn't break it down. I kind of want to, damn it, I'm out of time. I really shouldn't do this. But we live in this police state society. Oop, this might fell asleep in an auto-driving car. That's the wrong one. That can happen. You know, people have died from that. They fell asleep in these Tesla automatic cars and they died. That's happened. I'm against your police state. I'm against everything about your police state. I just don't believe in telling other people what to do. That's insane to me. What's this? Another commercial. A versatile, is that a new tool? Angular ruler, something like that? Look at that. Cool. That's, you know, we could have invented that 1,000 years ago. We didn't put the kid in who could invent it in prison.
I'll explain to you in a second. Get out.
I'm going to break down this police video. I haven't watched it. I saw part of it. Y'all help me.
Get out. I'll explain to you in a second. Get out. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Dude, get out of the car. Get out of the car.
First question. First thing I got an issue with, nobody in a free society should be forced to get out of their moving vehicle. Nobody. Now, if you murdered somebody, if you killed somebody, if you violated somebody else, then I agree. Then that's what the police are for, right? If you violated another human being's sovereignty, then yes, they can demand you get out of the car. I'm with that. Yes, because we got to stop you from hurting anybody else. You're a known raper or something like that. You're a known killer. I agree with that. But if it's a traffic stop, and I don't know the details. I don't know the details. So maybe that's who this is. Maybe it's not who it is. But if it's a traffic stop because you went through a stoplight or whatever, and they suspect something, no. In a free society, you don't have Fourth Reich police states telling people to get out of the car or slam people. So let's keep going.
He's refusing to get out of the car. Dude, get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car, dude. Get out of the car. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. I'm done. I've seen enough. Done. And because it doesn't really matter to me. I know some of y'all in these little weird places. You want to see if it was a black person. You want to see if it was a white person. Dumb stuff. You want to see what color the police were. It's actually important that you don't know and just make an assessment. So I saw enough. Even if this was a violent person, where is he going? Where is he going to go? Where's he going to get? What about driving a car requires you to unload through the windshield? The only thing that makes sense to me, and again, I don't know anything about this case, is that if it were a person that was on the way to hurt somebody else. Short of that, the police could have just followed them. We got drones. Y'all ever go outside at nighttime, look up and see the drones? Just do it. I thought one was a UFO. I did. I thought it's a drone. I thought it was a UFO. It's not a UFO. It was a drone. Every night, they're just flying over. I don't know if they're mapping. I don't know if they're using LiDAR. I don't know what they're doing, but they're flying over. So you mean to tell me that he was actually getting anywhere? No, he couldn't get anywhere. We know where terrorists are all over this planet that the CIA made. You don't have to kill people. You don't have to always use violence. No, I think he lived. Somebody said he did that. I think he lived. At the end, I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw parts of it. For some reason, I know that the passenger, and there was a passenger, there was a lady in the side passenger, and I think she got out. I have to go forward in the video. I'll post it. You can watch the whole thing. But, he was hit. I don't think he died, though. I don't think he died. But it's just too crazy violent. It's just too crazy psychopathically nuts. We live in a police state where nobody's getting anywhere. You can't run anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Human beings need food, water, a place to live. And all the places that have food, water, and places to live, they're all monitored. You're not actually going anywhere. There's no reason. It's like the high-speed car chases. Why are police chasing people high speed, putting the lives of endless other people at risk? And this isn't a hit on police. It's not a hit on police. I'm not even going there. I think that if we actually had legislators that actually work for the good of the citizens, the human population, they would look at these situations and say, this is messed up. We shouldn't be doing this. We should be using laws to make sure our citizens are safe, not using laws for corporations to take their rights because corporations like to make money. Being dictators, we should look at the situation and say, oh, we get it now. All the drones are in the Middle East. All of our drones are in Latin America. All of our drones are in Africa. How about we bring our drones back here, take the guns and the bombs off of them, use them to track people? Now, I'm not afraid. I know I said that, didn't I? It came out my mouth. But tracking is a good thing when it's used for citizen safety, right? And this is what I think a government would look like that is not psychopathic, a government that's not an oligarchy, a government that actually works for its people, using all the resources we have to make sure if that guy was a rapist, he could have been a rapist, he could have been a killer, he could have been who knows what he was. I don't know. But I think it's a good idea to analyze these things before we get all the bigoted details to make those. But this is where I'm gonna stand on it. I watch the whole thing and I find out the details of it. But this is not sentient. This is not sentient behavior. And this is what I want to see from your legislators, your 2020s that you say are for our benefit, is sentient thought that says this is a bad idea to continue to break policing, giving them laws, taking citizens' constitutional and Bill of Rights and human rights because we want to give them a speeding ticket, because the tint on their window is too dark, because they're riding on 20s, because I don't like the color that they are. I say that for funny when I say that. When I say, driving while black is a crime. Yes, I've been pulled over driving while black. It's a crime. Depending on where you are, it's a crime. I've had police in my car as a young kid when I used to drive a sports car working for a meat company while I was in college. Yes, I was driving while black, and that was a crime because the black legislators made it a crime with the crime bill. So they pulled me over because I was in a sports car, which meant I had to be dealing drugs. Not that I was going to college, visiting my friend in prison on the weekend, so I needed a car and I needed gas money. I had 3 jobs while I was in college, but no, I had to be a drug dealer, so I got to have drug dogs sniffing my car. Driving while white is a crime too, isn't it? Right, the guy who the white dude that shot Martin Luther King, they caught him. He was caught driving while hick, and he didn't actually do it. The real guy who killed Martin Luther King still running free. Still running free. That's why I say the laws are not for us. They're not for us. They are for corporations. That's what an oligarchy looks like. All right, let me keep going. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm off running my mouth. It's Friday too, isn't it? Friday. Where we pretend that we're free for the weekend. I'm not. I got work to do this week. I'm working on, but I love my work, so it's not slavery for me. I'll do for free. People ask, what do you do? That's not your business. But whatever you do, if you do it for free, then you should still do it. If you wouldn't do it for free, you're in the wrong job. You're a slave. You might be a slave to a mortgage. You might be slave to a car payment. You might be slave to a husband, a wife, a family, some kids, but you're a slave. If you're not living your authentic life, if you wouldn't do what you're doing for Rothschild's debt so you can buy food, then you're not actually living your authentic life. You're not you. You're a clone of somebody else. All right, there we go. Lettuces and carrots will grow in the cold. Yes, Susan. So, well, what did I grow? Bok choy, Chinese cabbage, Swiss chard. In my climate, that stuff will grow all the way up to January in a passive greenhouse. So I know I'm eating the friend. When the apocalypse fall and all these mass vaccines and this flu shot and this crap, the bear aspirin and drugs, when they start this zombie apocalypse, oh, I'm eating. I like to eat, y'all. I got used to eating. I want to keep eating. So I figured out the things that grow in my climate. When the Americans finally get upset with this nonsense and they do something stupid, oh no, I'm going to be eating food. I'm going to be eating food because we got dictators. So learn what grows. Eat my bananas. You should eat a banana, Brother Daniel. We got what, 60% of our DNA? It has the shape and the breakdown. Stop. I saw it. Cut it out. Y'all posting about okra. Bastard. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Lori, but yo, don't come over here with that okra hate. Y'all hold on to that. That okra is a slimy, snot-made alien plant that should not exist. And no, you can't cook it right. It should never go in my body. Maybe it goes in your body. Shouldn't go in my body. I do not want mandatory okra soup. Nor do I want mandatory vaccine because it's my body. And no means no, Lori. No. Nasty snot vegetable. Not even a vegetable. Conveniences is the laziness of love. Ooh, yeah. And conveniences is why the world is the way it is. Because Americans, they're too convenient. They made slavery convenient. They've made the slave shacks wall-to-wall carpet. They got air conditioning. They made the slave carriages and the carts with loud music and thumping sound systems. And so they love the slavery and they're happy with it. But it's convenient. Everything is convenience. 5G, 6G, all convenience. And it's convenient that your kids aren't the ones that live under bombs, too. That's why our #1 export is violence. And that's why they can roll out mandatory vaccines, because everything's so convenient, people won't stand up and say no. They keep saying yes. We're not invited to the Universe Club. No, we're not. The aliens don't want us. We're dicks. We are, Tina. We are. Humans are. Let's be honest. We can lie to each other all the time we want. We are. Nations of teams. Yes, Kimberly, they are. We should not be on one. We are on a prison planet. Yes, Harley. We are on a prison planet. We fail when we listen to authority. We always do, Carolyn, because authority always wants to seek to control us. This is why I tell people, think of authority like an abuser. Anytime somebody wants to tell you what to do, that's abuse. That's an abuser. They're just waiting to abuse you. You shouldn't be listening to any, if you want to date somebody or marry somebody or be in a nation's, anytime somebody wants to tell you what to do, that's a violation. That's a violator. If they use a law, they use force to make you do it, and what you're doing is peaceful, then all bets are off. All bets are off at that point. They lose their jobs and children. Yeah, they do. If you defy the government, you will. You don't pay your taxes. That's why I laugh about it too. It's just, you know, people blame the order followers. People blame the order follower. Who said that? Kimberly, they blame the order followers. They blame the police and the military and stuff. And I just like, you know what? I listen to the taxpayers blame the order followers. I listen to the taxpayers, the people paying taxes, holding all of this stuff up, working in the business class, working for the corporations, is buying the government, following all the orders, blaming the order followers. That's why I don't believe in the protest against the police or the military. I completely disagree with it. Because we all follow orders. Why? Because we live under a rule by force dictatorship. And you can't force somebody, you can't chastise somebody else for not standing up and you're not willing to stand up. So when you're willing to not pay your taxes, then that's when you can go blame the police and the military, because you're a part of the system like everybody else. That's why it's a great time to be alive, because it's so obvious. We shouldn't be hypocrites. Blame other people for their complicity in following orders while we do. You know, but they have these things. They'll take your children, they'll take your house, they'll throw you in prison. That's what dictators do. That's why Guaido's free and we're not. Let me see. They want to dig in the dirt and grow things. Yes, because digging in the dirt and growing things makes you strong and powerful. It gives you an immune system, so you actually don't need pharmaceutical products. You don't need herd immunity. You don't need to be in the druggy herd. I'm not in the druggy herd. I'm in the herd of natural organic eaters whose immune systems actually work, and we don't need any of your drugs at all, let alone your vaccines and flu shots. We don't need them because we're actually healthy and our bodies work because we don't eat the crap that your corporations sell. So I don't need herd immunity. I'm not in your herd. You know, besides, who came up with that damn statement anyway? That's just like they're not even lying to you. Like the humans are a herd and humans are being farmed. We're cattle. Let me see. I trashed a classroom in the 2nd grade. Nobody was there. Nobody got hurt. Rebecca, you thug life. That does not surprise me at all. And the whole world is in denial about it. Yes, Harley, they are. They are, because it feels good to be a slave right now. They've made slavery comfortable and everybody's happy with no freedom. Question why every damn thing has plastics, every food wrapped in it, beverages are sold in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right, Carolyn? Because who makes money on that? The big petrol companies. And the big petrol companies are powerful in Washington and powerful around the world. That's the way it was set up by John D. Rockefeller. They need everybody buying plastic, buying petrol, destroying countries like Venezuela for their petrol so they can take chili and put it in plastic and sell it to you at the grocery store because you're too lazy to grow your own food. So when the researchers go down to Chile, they eating the chili and they throw the plastic in the ocean and discover the whale and then shoot the whale with a gun made of plastic. And that's just how it works. No criminal, no crime. Victimless crimes are absurd, right, Rebecca? Because they're not crimes. If there is no victim, there is no crime, and corporations are not victims. There is no corporation that's a victim on this planet anywhere, at all, ever. It makes no damn sense. Corporations are systems. They're not biological creatures. They can't actually be victimized. They can't be violated. They actually shouldn't even exist, to be honest with you. Why do cops shout orders at people after they shoot them, right? It's hard to move when you're dying. Thank you, Estella. Right? Like, why are they still yelling at you? You know, it's crazy. But psychopathy. I posted on that all day yesterday. Psychopathy. You make cops psychopaths, they will do what the military does. You make domestic abusers, which is what the police, breaking the police system and making abusive police did, what the legislators did. Just like an abusive person beating his wife. Same thing. He'll yell and scream at her and keep beating her and won't feel anything because all those genes get turned off. You know, the fraternal order of, Brother Jimmy, the fraternal order of psychopathy. We break police. Our society breaks them and we break children and we blame them for breaking them. But this is a system we all hold up, every last one of us. Which is why I just sit back and I observe. Is that Ty? Ty came in. I saw it yesterday, Ty. I saw Ty's video yesterday. He talking about reparations. I ain't gonna touch it. I was gonna say something. I ain't gonna say nothing. I can say something now. It's my show. I can say. I was gonna say that yesterday. Ty was upset. I don't know who pissed Ty off yesterday. And you gotta know when to talk to people. Because I believe in reparations, and Ty is 100% accurate. Yes, you do. Colonizers owe reparations to people all over this planet. But the biggest problem I have is everybody is a victim of these colonizers. Whether you're Irish, you're English, you're Swedish, you're African, you're Native American, Congolese, Venezuelan, you know, and those corporations need to pay it back. I don't view reparations the same way everybody else does. I see reparations from an automation robotics perspective. I don't want your money. I don't want your toys. I don't want none of that. I want the psychopathy to stop. I want us to stop raising children to be violent, which means you need to use automation and robots to build houses, feed them, and give them free life. I think that being born on this planet, it is a human right to have life and not be made into a psychopath by an artificially scarce society. And all the corporations hold all those resources, which is why I believe corporations should go away. I think that's step one in reparations. Stop making violent people. Stop the conflict. When people aren't conflicting, then we can actually start to have discussions that are common sense based, not tribally and bigoted based, because we starve a race or an ethnic group or a nation of people into violent activity. That's why I kind of think reparations. That's why some reparations for everybody. Well, hell no, I'm gonna say that Ty yesterday. Ty is flipping out. Hell no, I got Ty yelling at me. I don't do that. Somebody pissed off. That's what I'm saying. See, this is a good example. So I try to tell y'all. When you talk to people, you got to judge and pick and choose what you say and when you say it. I'd have got cussed out yesterday if I said that. Pick and choose what you got to say. But empirically, reparations is owed to people all over this planet. And it's not the 0.01%. It's not the people holding the resources or the corporations. It's the people who they stole them from, murdered, and shoved all their ancestors in holes after raping them. 100% empirically correct. All right, let me see. Won't be comfortable much longer. No, Karen, we won't be comfortable, which is a good thing. We should not be comfortable. We should not be comfortable. We're going to feel the pain because America, what they say, the value of the dollar has dropped like 98% since 1913. So the value of the dollar is about 98%. The oligarchs are shifting. They're shifting. The powerful elites, they're moving to Russia or China, and you can see it. And they're taking all their weapons with them. They're taking the robots with them. They're taking the software and the automation with them because those things aren't owned by the U.S. government. Those things are owned by big corporations that bought the U.S. government. Same way Starbucks is going to China to sell coffee. Same way Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, everybody else going everywhere else to sell to everybody else. This is why I don't do divisive arguments. We all have to come together. We are all related. We're all cousins all over this damn planet. And if we take care of each other, we get to make it. If we don't take care of each other and we keep this system of robbing each other, more colonization, we ain't gonna make it. That's why I sit back and watch. Yes, Brother David, the U.S. is a corporation, 100%. Please continue to say that. Please continue to post that till other people actually get it. We are a corporation. We are property and we are owned. And it all goes back to the Federal Reserve and all the other corporations that bought interest in America. America stopped existing in 1913. You are property, 100% property. But a lot of people don't know that. Just like immigration talks about how they treat immigrants, then bring them here to work for people we're trying to fight. Right, exactly. Well, you know, and the funny thing about immigrants, I was thinking about this morning, is you ever find it interesting that the immigrants, they always immigrate to the country that destroyed them. For the most part. I mean, if they can get across the border, they go across the border. But in general, you know who destroyed their country because that's where the trade routes and the airplanes fly, where the resources go and the sellouts go. And so it creates a society over there. And so Congo was destroyed by the Dutch. That's where most people immigrated. You know, certain nations were destroyed by the French. That tends to be where they go. You know, certain countries destroyed India. That tends to be where they go. When they destroyed Honduras, where's everybody coming? And so it's a hint. It's a good hint to you where the money's going because that's where the people go. You know, immigrants always come to the nation that destroy them. Chickens always come home to roost. Yes, a corporate oligarchy. Who's that? Karen? Absolutely, 100%. We have an oligarchy and we need to act like it. If you got an oligarchy, you need to treat it like an oligarchy, right? If you have an infestation of fleas, Tylenol is not going to help that. I know, because unfortunately I had a few little things in my house that my son left because he brought the damn cat to my house. And I do love cats. No, I don't love cats. I don't lie. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I do. I love cats. I do. It's just cats are murdery, y'all. I know y'all cat people gonna be mad at me there. Watch cats. Y'all should watch cat activity. I just watch cat activity. Cats are killers. These are some. We're lucky that tabby cats are only this big. If tabby cats were the size of lions, we'd all be dead. Like if an alien flew over right now and wanted to educate us on how much this planet hates the human life, and all of a sudden all the cats they like did a beam. Just imagine all the tabby cats in your country magically were the size of lions. Just imagine that for a minute. You'd only have a minute. You'd only have a minute to imagine it. Like bird populations are falling because like 9 billion birds die a day from tabby cats. And I'm not hating on cats. I'm not. It's not because of the fleas they left in my house. I'm just saying they're killers. And the only reason they ain't killing you because you're a little bigger than they are. That's all. That's all. Your tabby was the size of a lion. You wouldn't be doing all that cuddly stuff. There ain't no cuddling. You are chicken. All right? And you taste like chicken. So let's be clear. You can domesticate dogs because they're wolves and they want to be your best friend. Cats aren't your best friend. They want to eat you. You're just too damn big and you bring them food in the morning. When you die, they will eat you. That's why they find grandparents, old ladies and kids and stuff. Like old men and old ladies had a whole bunch of cat hoarders. They don't have no fingers and toes by the time the police find them. right? Because the cats, all right, I'm done. I'm mad at the cat. So anyway, my point, the cat people like, I ain't never watching them again. That bastard hitting my cat trigger, damn it. My cat loves me. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because after you die and you floating and you wave energy and you're looking at your body, you say, I can't believe Poo-Poo is eating me. Why Poo-Poo eating me? You're going to be a ghost over your body. Like, I can't believe that. You're going to chew my nose off? And my ear, I fed you and I loved you. I took you in, baby. Well, I don't understand. Because we're humans, y'all. We're stupid. We're bags of jelly. We are uncooked steak. All right. Anyway, but you don't treat a flea infestation with some damn Tylenol. You don't do that. If you have an oligarchy, you don't act like you're a democracy. You're not going to fix it by voting. You're not going to fix it with a Bernie. You're not going to fix it with a Trump. You're not going to fix it with an Obama. You didn't fix it with Bush. You didn't fix it with Clinton. Carter didn't fix it. Eisenhower didn't fix it. Jimmy Carter, John Kennedy didn't fix it. At what point do we get enough evidence that you don't fix an oligarchy by voting? That you don't stop bankers with gestures and identities that make you feel good because they're ego-driven? You understand it's an oligarchy. It's a flea infestation. Damn it, you go get yourself some cedar oil, some essential oils. No, I did not say petroleum oil. I don't know that kills fleas, but cedar oil, spearmint oil, what you do is you go to Facebook. You go to my Facebook. This is what I did. I was like, what the hell am I do? My son was like, Daddy, I got bit. So what you mean you got bit? There's a bug in the house, Daddy. There ain't no bugs in the house. Man, shut up. I didn't say that to him. I kind of said something, kind of sort of like. And I saw it was a flea, and I went to Facebook. I was like, what I do? Something natural. I ain't spraying no chemicals and pesticides in my house. And my friends was like spearmint, chocolate mint, this mint, dandelion mint, essential oils. They all just kill fleas. I got some essential oils, and I got the coconut oil and the avocado oil. Sprayed it all over the floor. All the fleas died. Oligarchy done. Oligarchy in my house is done. I reclaimed my house. Very simple. Very simple. If you have an oligarchy, you deal with it like it is an oligarchy. If you have a dictatorship, treat it like it's a dick. All right, y'all, I gotta get out of here. Whew, I'm late. That was good talk. Hey, it's Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. Everybody, mandatory vaccines coming. Just get ready. Just go ahead and pick and choose, y'all, because y'all not fighting the oligarchy. You're voting. You're not standing up. You're not joining up with the hicks and the hillbillies and the gangster thugs and everybody coming together and white lives back. Like, y'all ain't figured that out yet. Y'all ain't figured out. It's all divide and conquer. So when y'all figure that out, let me know. Until then, I'm just trying to figure out which arm do I want Bernie to stick. Let me see. Trump. I don't know. I want my mandatory vaccines. I probably in my right. No, my left arm. I probably my left arm. I'll get all my shots up here, my 28 shots. I'm probably gonna get them right here because I work with this one, I garden with this one, right? Because I ain't going to prison. I ain't going to prison not getting no damn shot. That's not happening. So get ready for your flu shots because we ain't figured it out yet. Anyway, this is Gerard. Gotta get out of here. Y'all have a great day. Love y'all to death. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye. As soon as I can figure out how to make myself disappear off this thing. There you go. Boom!